Caleb Kuphall here. Just want to give you guys a quick rundown on what I did this last week on the second Bassmaster Elite Series event on Eufaula. I ended up 6th in the tournament, so I got a top 10, 6 out of 88. That's a good finish. Got a lot of good points going towards the Classic next year, so hopefully we can keep that going the next couple tournaments. But basically, just to give you guys a rundown on what was going on, there was kind of a fight between the shallow bite and the deep water bite, and everybody kind of knew that the deep water bite was eventually going to prevail. But my strengths and what I like to do, I like to fish shallow. That's kind of the way I practiced. The first day of practice I was exclusively shallow, and then I kind of played around with the deeper stuff, the brush piles, the ledge fishing later in practice, but never really got on anything that I could, that I felt that I could really carry throughout the tournament, just because one of the things, I'd never been there before, so, this was kind of a new lake for me, so fishing shallow was just more my game plan, so, but basically what I was doing, I had a two-pronged approach going. I was fishing a buzzbait in the morning, around this willow grass stuff that they have down there. It's just a grass that sticks up a foot or so out of the water. Fairly sparse in areas, and then heavier in some other areas. But I saw a lot of guys throwing a frog through it. Personally, I was getting a bit on a buzzbait. I never really strayed from that, to try other things. Did try to get bit on a swim jig in there a little bit too, but that never really played out. But the buzzbait that I was using was just a standard 3/8 ounce. This is about as standard as you can get. Just a silver blade on there, white horny toad. I was running a trailer hook on all of them. This is just a standard 1/0 Gamakatsu swing trailer that I got on there. But the first 2 days I was using a Buddha Baits buzzbait. And then the last 2 days I switched over to this Booyah. So they're both catching fish. There's not really rhyme or reason why I went with one or the other, but I was throwing that on a 7-1 medium heavy action rod, Piscifun Phantom reel, running that on 40-pound Power Pro is what I was throwing that buzzbait on. So that bite I'd be able to carry it for a couple hours in the morning. Generally it's around 10 or 10:30, and then it would pretty much die. I had two main areas that I was running that pattern in. But after that was over, I'd basically just go to the bank and start flipping a jig around. I had probably 3 or 4 areas that I really had confidence in, flipping that jig. Basically the areas that I really found them in were areas that were closer to the main river. So not necessarily like pockets that you'd fish back into, but ones that were very like inconspicuous kind of spots, really close to the main section, were productive for me. Spots that I could literally fish out in 10 or 15 minutes. So but for that I was using just I love flipping a jig, 1/2 ounce green pumpkin, homemade jig that I make. Salty Craw trailer on the back. This one's a 2.75 inch version. I was flipping that on my go-to jig setup, 7-foot medium action rod, and then Piscifun Phantom again. 20-pound fluorocarbon, 20-pound Seagull Red Label is what I was throwing on that guy. And I fished fairly clean. The buzzbait I did, lose a few fish on, not necessarily fish that I had hooked up, but they just miss it every once in a while. But the jig I did lose one good fish on the last day, and that one definitely cost me. It cost me probably, 2.5 pounds on my final weight. So, I could have been a little higher, but that's the way it goes. That's fishing. So from here we go to Cayuga, up in New York. We got 3 tournaments in a row, but looking forward to Cayuga probably more than anything else. I've never been there before, but just watching, previous footage and stuff of tournaments, it looks like something that is gonna fit into my style of fishing pretty well. So looking forward to that one. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, head on over, check us out on Instagram, and hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you on the water next time.